you're banned from travelling, you're staying in the UK. That to me seems pretty authoritarian. I mean, how did you feel? Does it feel like you're still being controlled by the state?
Oh, massively. You know, like, I have to go to probation every week. I'm a MAPA level 3. I don't know if you know what that means, but sex offenders and terrorists get put on MAPA level 3. It's another way of, so you're not just what's the word, like controlled and watched by probation. It's police. They have a police department, they have a press department, there's like a group. It stands for multi-agency public protection, basically. So you've got, so I'm not just answerable to probation, I'm what they call a MAPA, which is insane given, but they use the excuse of, well, it's because of the press interest, you're high profile with the press, so therefore, so I have to ask them permission to do everything. So if I want to go anywhere where there's more than 50 people, I have to seek probation's permission and get that signed off. If I want to attend like a conference, or so for example, I'm going tomorrow to Parliament to watch the debate that Rupert Lowe set up about not using prison as a punishment for people that post on social media, and I've had to seek permission to go to that and get it signed off by them. Like, everything I do is controlled by them, basically. So it's not a case of, oh, she only served 40% of her sentence. Don't be fooled into thinking that they make my life really easy now, because they don't.
Wow, I am absolutely astonished. So you're basically chucked in the same bag as sex offenders and, you know, some of the worst people in society, all because of that tweet. I mean, do you feel like you're still being made an example of, Lucy?
100%. There was, I'm not going to go into it, but there was an incident, and probation pulled me up about it this week, and I just sat there thinking, I don't know. And they were saying things like, well, you know, how much had you had to drink and all of this, that and the other? And I was like, listen, this incident was nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me. I wasn't the one in the wrong.
Now, the fun part is that when you scroll down and you look at the comments, there's a lot of leftists saying that, well, she incited violence. Did you not see what she said? Did you not see? I don't think it matters what she said. Nothing that a woman her age in her bedroom posting at the computer justifies this type of government crackdown. And nothing that she says, and I guarantee to you that absolutely nothing that she says is actually worse than stuff like Hassan Piker would say, or Destiny would say. And yet their nation doesn't require this level of intimate crackdown by the government. And even in the UK, like, if I were to look for what leftist activists and political agitators are saying, it pales in comparison with what she said. So no, like, from the outside, I gotta say, you know, if British people want to live like this, like, they should. But I don't want that hellhole in my country. You know, Americans don't want that hellhole over there. Like, people around the world don't want that from their governments. And to call it safety. I have a series on the French Revolution, and they also had a Committee of Public Safety. The fact that people don't learn from history sickens me. But more interestingly, you now understand why it's so important for the British government to pass the safety bill. To make sure that children don't get to watch naughty things online, and that people dox themselves before they're posting. Like, it is paramount for them. And it's going to also be important to make sure that private messages are revealed, right? Also for public safety reasons. And so, why is the government doing things like this, right? Like, why can't they govern with the consent of the people? Like, why do they need to be afraid, to be terrorized by their population? And the reality is that a government that has to behave like this is because they are aware the way of life of their citizens isn't as it should be. It's very likely that British people are looking back at their parents, at their grandparents, and they're wondering, it's like, well, why did my father live in a safer society? Why did he have more purchasing power? Why was he able to get a house? Why was he able to do all those things and I can't? And if the government doesn't have an answer to that, they will start cracking down on mothers. Like, it's insane, right? Like, this is not a cult leader, right? Like, she's not raising up the masses behind her. Like, she wasn't this famous content creator that had tens of millions. She's not a billionaire, right? Like she was a lady that had that opinion online. And the government decided to make an example of her. Now, the reason they do it is that they have this philosophy called nudging. And so nudging means like, let's tell the public kind of the way they have to behave without being explicit. And so by doing this to this lady, it signals that if it did it to her, it can do it to everyone else, so you best shut the fuck up. And this is why it's chilling, right? And again, like, the systems that they're using are the same systems that apparently they use for sex offenders. And that's called mission creep. I wish that people would understand political science a little bit more. But basically, the way the government operates when it wants to become tyrannical, it will start with something that everyone agrees it's a good thing. Like, for example, protecting children. And it's set up in a way that if you disagree with it, it makes you sound like you're trying to harm children. So, like, the thing has to go forward. Like, there's no backlash. There's no other options. Like, no, like, we need to protect children, and this is the only way we can do it. And once you do that, once you establish that system, you get the mission creep. And the mission creep, it starts loosening the definition of what it means to be a child. It loosens the definition of what it means to have harm done to a child. And then you can also piggyback other things on it. So like, okay, well, this is to protect children, but we can also use it for cracking down on hate speech. We can also use it to crack it down on misinformation, disinformation. And you notice like how all these things are incredibly ambiguous. So it's not a person, you know, just venting online, just saying something like experiencing a bad day and then saying something the same way that their parents could have said in a pub. Right? Like, you go to a pub, you get drunk, and you say, oh, those fucking politicians, I hope they burn. Right? And like, everyone knows that it's a person that is venting. Right? Like, that is a person that just had a bad day, is venting. But the government will treat it like, no, that's insurrection. That's a call to violence. That's call to arson. And then they arrest you, they lock you up, they put you under surveillance, and they send the message like, no, look, when you talk about the government, like you're talking about God and Jesus, that's sacred. You're not allowed to say anything negative about it. And so the question is like, that actually creates a safer society or it creates a terrorized society? Like, to me, it looks more like Project Fear than Project Safety. And the idea of protecting the children, it's like, okay, first of all, are they actually protecting? Like, are people in Britain right now, after Ofcom passed its legislation, are they safer than, I don't know, say kids in Germany or kids in Italy, right? And the second question is, do you want a child that grows up, and let's say that the government actually protects him from seeing a titty on the internet when he's 16. Great. But then he grows up and he is 18. Now he can't see the titty, but he can also see that he lives in a fascist state. Like, is that the good trade-off? You know, like, is sometimes not okay to suggest that maybe the cure is worse than the disease. That while keeping children safe is important, how you do it is also equally important. I'm really sorry to see that this is happening to this lady, but it was predictable. Like seeing the way that the British government constantly cracks down on freedom of expression and freedom of speech, especially how their politicians lie to the US president. And the mission creep that their government keeps having is quite scary. If this is like the French Revolution, if it's anything like, and then you get a Napoleon, and then you get like someone that tries to export this ideology to other places, yeah, we're going to have interesting times ahead. Let me know what you guys think, though. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.